Alright there guys. Video 2. Continue our conversation here now. I switched my chair around just slightly different angle here now. It's just the one room here now guys, so I want to get the one chair. I haven't got many places to go to try to get better background lighting or whatever sort of thing. It's just the one room. I'm gonna be bringing the one room there guys. Gonna have a restart me tape here now again in a second or two there guys. The music I'm playing in the background here right now, go off on a whole bunch of other tangents there now. Typical for me. The music I'm playing in the background here right now guys, it's Frank Mills. I don't know if anybody ever heard of him before or not. He goes back a ways. I don't know if it's Frank Mills' greatest hits or what it is, or just one. So this was copyrighted back in '87. So it's music from one of his CDs, album things that he put out in '87. Frank Mills was a big name piano performer sort of thing. I think he's Canadian, guys, but I'm not 100% certain. He might be American. Honestly, I'm 100% sure now. But I remember hearing about him when I was growing up and listening to some of his music on the radio growing up and so on. And so I got this CD of him right now. I don't know where I bought it though. I bought it for a few months now, I think. Bought it secondhand. And anyway, it's got Music Box Dancer in it, and that's only one I know is Music Box Dancer, and 16 other ones. So it's on the very last one here now. So just as I start the music, I'm going to have to jump up here now and start that CD again once it cuts off. But it's just to have some background information, background music here, guys, as I'm talking, because I find that that's better. To have a little bit of background music playing when I'm doing the videos here, guys, rather than just having dead silence and so on. That has I don't know what it is about background music, but I really do love to have background music and the right kind of background music. And because of YouTube's endless copyright notification, I've never gotten a copyright strike yet. If there's a difference between notification and a strike, but I have gotten no end to copyright notifications because of certain types of music I've been playing in the background on the radio sort of thing. So I'm trying very hard now, guys, to try to find music that is so general, so neutral, so you know, that it's not going to you know, like the algorithms or whatever picks up on all that sort of stuff won't pick up on it and you know, give me another copyright notification or whatever sort of thing. And low enough as well that you can sort of clue into it in the background, but not so much that it's overpowering the conversation and all the rest of it sort of thing, my talking. So a little bit of a tricky thing there to get just right as well, to be honest with you, sort of thing, guys. So okay, so it is the same day here now, guys. It's Thursday, August the 9th, and it is now almost 10 to 12 here, guys. Sorry, almost 10 to 12 here, guys. And I'm going to change, now I've got to change it back again. Da-dee-da. Okay, that should work. So we can play the same CD there now in the background. Thursday, October the 9th at 11:49, 11:50, 10 to 12. So that's Music Box Dancer playing it right now, guys, the first song on that CD. You almost can't miss it because that's one of his real big, huge pieces of music sort of thing. I think he composed it himself. I believe all of his music he composed himself. Now Frank Mills, whether he's still on the go now, guys, or not, whether he's still alive or not, I have no idea. If he's still putting up music or anything, I have no idea. I truly don't. If you're interested, you can just check them out online, and you know, if you like that kind of music. So anyway, back on topic now. Oh my, forgive me, guys. So yes, so this topic of anti-Semitism, guys, this oldest hatred that in recorded history that we're aware of, and how it keeps resurfacing every few generations for the past several thousand years, it seems like, you know. And how now we're seeing, unfortunately, another resurgence of it today, over the past couple of years in particular, and all due to the simple fact of the Jewish state protecting itself, just doing what it needs to protect itself, and how this act of defense, you know, is getting so twisted and distorted in mainstream media and in the minds of hundreds of millions of people the world over, through the highest levels of disinformation and propaganda on any particular conflict that I think I've personally experienced in my entire lifetime. So as I've said before, guys, in a number of videos, just over 4 months ago, well, it was 4 months ago yesterday, I turned 60 years of age. So if I were to take it from about age 10 onward, say 8 to 10 onward, everything that I've ever seen on TV, every conflict that I've ever been aware of in my lifetime, for the past 50 odd years or so, nothing compares to what I've been experiencing with this particular well, we've all been experiencing with this particular conflict over the past 2 years, and how it has snowballed to a level that it is just the madness of it is just completely off the charts at this stage now, two years in. So as I said, as I said in my other videos, where it should have been pretty well non-existent at this point now. I mean, it should have subsided months and months and months back to probably a year or so ago. The conflict should have been over and done with well over a year ago. Israel should have been able to go in, do what it had to do, and eliminate this threat within the first few months to a year or so, and it was prevented from doing so. So it's dragged on into 2 years. And it's just snowballed into something that's gone global now, and it's affecting Jewish people worldwide. But in all honesty now, guys, because the hatredness is becoming so insanely toxic now, that it's not only affecting the Jewish people in particular, but to be honest with you, anybody that supports Israel right now and supports Jewish people to any degree, if you make yourself known that you're doing that, and you know, you become vocal about it and all the rest of it sort of thing, you pretty much put yourself at the same risk as the Jewish people themselves. Now that's what I'm beginning to see anyway. That the level of hatred now, and anger and hatred and so on, that is to the point now that not only are Jewish people unsafe, almost everywhere, unfortunately. You know, anybody that actively supports Israel and actively supports the Jewish people is placing themselves pretty much in a similar situation, you know. So so the thing there, guys, is that you can make a conscious decision in matters of this nature. So if you're not the persecuted group of people yourself directly at any given point in time, you know, you can choose to ignore the persecuted group of people, and walk away from it, from them, and not bother with the issues and all the rest of it, and hopes that you can come out of the situation unscathed, unaffected, and so on and so forth, and just throw that group of people to the wind, let's say, and to their own devices or whatever, and however they can protect themselves or whatever the case might be. But just say, well, I'm not of that group of people, so it's not my problem, so I'm not going to get involved, and so on and so forth. But, anybody can do that, guys. Anybody can make that decision to do that, and you may come out of the situation unscathed, or you may not. Because whoever's perpetrating the bigotry and so on, depending on the nature of the bigotry sort of thing, once they finish with one group of people, who's to say, depending on the nature of the bigotry, that another group of people won't be included in, to be the focus of that bigotry after they finished off that initial group sort of thing, So it's not necessarily a guarantee that you're going to be safe if you don't speak up, get involved, be active, and so on, to support that group of people that are being persecuted, sort of thing, So with this particular situation here right now, guys, we know that the nature of the bigotry is such that even if you don't get involved with yourself, and you don't speak up and try to protect Jewish people and so on, that in the face of this insane, evil, demonic, however you conceive of demonism or demonic influences or whatever, this toxic, evil atmosphere that has developed over the past couple of years or so, if you don't get involved and you don't support and so on and so forth, well, the nature of this particular type of bigotry is that we know that once they're done with you guys, then they're going to turn right on then to the other group of people. The next significant group would be Christian people, and then once they're done with the Christian people, then it would basically be anybody else that doesn't accept their way of thinking and their belief system and so on and so forth. And we know that now. We know that's the game plan. That's what's in their minds. That's what's in their hearts. That's what their understanding of their religion, their religious teachings, and so on, that teach them to behave like, So, I mean, if you don't get involved and you don't support you guys, that's not going to leave the other groups of people off the hook, because at the end of the day, everyone is a target with this particular type of ideology and this particular type of bigotry sort of thing, So really, to be honest with you, yes, you do have to make a conscious choice of what you're going to do. And if you do want to be on the right side of history and the right side of a cause, which if you speak up and fight and resist and so on and so forth, at the end of it sort of thing, you hopefully protect yourself as well, along with protecting the group that's was the initial target of the bigotry sort of thing, So now this sort of is what do I call a segue? It's a good segue now to get into the second part of the conversation here, of why any of this even matters to a non-Jewish individual, guys. I gave you the culture and religious background there now in the other video there, and so now leading up from that. It's midnight now, guys, so I'm going to probably talk a little lower here. Leading up from that now, guys, throughout my childhood, I grew up in rural Newfoundland, guys, which is a very small fishing village here in rural Newfoundland. I'm not from St. John's originally. I wasn't born and raised here in St. John's originally. I'm very, very much a rural boy, a bay boy, with the term we use here in the province sort of thing. If you're not born and raised here in St. John's, you're either a townie or you're a bay person. You're from out around the bays. And so I'm from out around the bays originally. And I'm from a small fishing village. I'll say the name, guys, but I mean, it means nothing to anybody who's listening to unless you know Newfoundland, you know the communities of the province and so on, that somewhat to know what place I'm talking about. But I'm from a place called Twillingate, guys. Twillingate. 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 And it's actually a French word. It's the proper French pronunciation of it. I might butcher it there now. Toulinquet or something like that. And apparently, our island was named after a French island somewhere off the French coast or something. There's an island off the French coast that's somewhat similar to the smaller island, Twillingate Island, that I was born and raised on, sort of thing. So when the French people came here to the New World, called the New World back then, after the Portuguese, when they migrated up around to that part of the island, guys, and came across that particular island, they were quite surprised by the shape and structure, of the island, so similar to this island off France somewhere, that they gave it the same name, Twillingate. Now, what it means, I have no idea. I've never bothered to research that. But it's originally a French name, and we kind of brutalized it, garbalized it, anglicized it, or whatever sort of thing, and turned it into the name of Twillingate. And so obviously French people lived there at one point, and English-speaking people, Irish and English people have been there now. Well, our family has been there for over 200 years. Because to trace back my own family's roots, we're 6-7 generations out in that particular area. So that's going back a couple hundred years at least. I mean, might even be out there longer, I don't know. So before that, then I guess it was French settlements out in that area. Then I suppose the British took over, and they moved in, and that's the nature of that sort of thing. When you're colonizing places and whatever, one country goes in, takes over, another country comes in, wants to take over from that country, takes the land from them, pushes those settlers out or whatever, and they take over. And we know the history of colonialism, guys, and the empires that tried to take over the New World and so on and so forth. So